Hello and welcome to Mickeyology. I'm Austin Raphael, and today I'm going to be responding to some of your comments. These are comments that you've left over my last few videos, so let's go through these comments, and thank you for watching and for commenting. Here we go. The When and Where Does the Jungle Book Take Place video. Ariz Khan SP7LE. He says, wow, I found this video very intriguing and informative. Thank you. Fun fact, I am of Pakistani descent, and once when I went to see a cinema re-release of the movie with my father, he told me afterwards that the scene when Mowgli meets the girl at the end reminded him of a Pakistani tradition. So for the longest time, I thought that the film took place in pre-1947 Pakistan when it was part of India. That is very cool. Thank you for sharing that. I am not super familiar with Pakistani history and culture, so I would love to know what that tradition is, and I'd be curious to see if it impacted the way that Walt Disney and company decided to show that scene in the movie. This next comment is on When and Where Did the Emperor's New Groove Take Place? And this person says, Kingdom of the Sun deserved to happen but got replaced by comedy relief. Okay, you have struck a chord with me because I am so torn on this issue. If you've not seen all my videos on this, I did a couple shorts about it, but when The Emperor's New Groove began production, it was called Kingdom of the Sun, and it was originally going to be a musical drama in the style of The Lion King. It was going to have human characters, but it was going to have that same epic flavor, and it was going to be set in the Inca Empire. So it was this amazing story, at least that's what it sounds like. However, the story wasn't coming together in a very timely way, and the studio got nervous about it and they pulled the plug. So they revamped it into The Emperor's New Groove and turned it into more of a Looney Tunes style comedy. So I love The Emperor's New Groove. I think it's very, very funny. However, part of my heart does break at the fact that we never got to see that epic Disney Inca musical. I think that if they could have worked the kinks out, and I think they probably would have eventually, we could have gotten an amazing movie, and it would have told a part of history that hardly ever gets told in Disney or any other movie. So yeah, I don't know that I wish we could have both movies exist, but yeah, I really do wish that Kingdom of the Sun could have happened and we could have seen what that might have turned into. I think it could have been amazing. All right, this comment is from When and Where Does Up Take Place? Adam Drabinski R6J says, you forgot about the state flag in the courthouse. I hate it when details like that slip by me, but you're absolutely right. In the very, very brief scene where Carl Fredricksen goes into the courthouse, we do see that there is an American flag and what looks to be a state flag. And the only state flag that appears to match this is the flag of Ohio. So maybe Up takes place there. I don't think that matches the rest of the references we see, but good catch. And I can't stand it that I let a detail like that slip by me. Also, if you look at the courthouse scene and you zoom into some of the background characters there's one person who looks really freaky. All right, this comment is from When and Where Does Bambi Take Place? Giuseppe Coretti, longtime viewer, and thank you for watching. Giuseppe says, in the sequel of the 1942 film Bambi, Bambi 2, it is mentioned an object called the deer call, which was invented in 1984. This one led me down a rabbit hole because I looked it up, and the prominent search results on the internet do say that the deer call was invented in the 80s. But I had read the book Bambi, and that mentions deer calls as well, and that was published back in like the 20s. So I looked it up, and sure enough, there were deer calls invented before 1984, even though some deer call company is claiming that they invented the thing themselves. They did exist before. There are earlier models, and the same thing actually happened for the Incredibles video. I looked up when clip-on microphones were invented because they used those at the beginning of the Incredibles, and the prominent search results were saying that they were invented by some company in like the, I want to say 60s to 80s, but then when I dug a little deeper, I found that there were clip-on models before that. Some of them came from Japan, I think. So yeah, I've learned from stuff like that I have to be really careful and dig deep into certain inventions, because often a company might claim to have invented something, but there were actually models before that existed. All right, this is from Bambi Book versus Movie, and Squall Rowlandson 8028 says, when I was younger, I used to be against deer hunting until I got older and realized that Felix Salten, the author, was an avid but humane food hunter, and he was against inhumane deer poaching, as he was also an animal rights activist, as well as the fact that deer were a useful source of food, shelter, and tools for people since the Stone Age, and Salten did give Bambi a happy ending, unlike Daniel P. Mannix. I'm a fan of both the Disney films and the original novels, who equally likes both Bambi as a brave fawn and a formidable stag, and Sultan himself actually liked the Disney adaptation of his novel. But he'd be rolling in his grave and horrified if he saw the abomination of animation Bambi Meets Godzilla, which scarred me for life more than the actual passing of Bambi's mother, and Bambi the Reckoning. A lot to unpack here. So obviously a big Felix Salten fan. I should do a video someday just about all of Felix Salten's life, because he is a very fascinating figure. He's most famous for writing Bambi, but he wrote some other stuff which is really scandalous, and he had to escape the Nazis at one point. Very, very interesting guy. But yes, he was a hunter, but he was against poaching. He did want to be humane about it, so Bambi is not, at least in the original form, an anti-hunting story. And I love that you mentioned Bambi versus Godzilla. I found this on Wikimedia Commons when I was researching for Bambi, and I was like, what is this? And if you haven't seen it, I don't think it'll scar you for life, but you should go and watch it. And it is this weird, very short animated video made by some animator in like the 60s, and it is delightfully bizarre. And I was gonna make some kind of short talking about it. I don't really know how to bring it up, just to say, other than to say like, look at this weird thing that exists. And Bambi the Reckoning, yeah, I for one can do without all those public domain horror movies that are coming out. But yeah, Felix Salten's cool. Bambi Meets Godzilla is weird, and yeah, there we go. Those are the top comments. Thank you for commenting on the videos. I apologize if you left a comment and I didn't get to it. Hopefully I left you a response online, but either way, please keep watching and please keep commenting, and I hope to respond to more of these comments in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know which Disney movies you would like me to analyze or compare with their source material next. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.